What if I told you that one machine mounted to your wall could replace not only a full cable stack, but a personal trainer, a workout app, and not one, not two, but 3 different gym memberships? Well, that's the promise that we're getting from the Tonal 2. Now, we all know Tonal as the most advanced home training gym system in the world, and now they've upgraded it. So the question isn't whether it's impressive, the question is it really worth the $4,000 price tag that comes with it? Let's talk about it. If you're unfamiliar with Tonal, think of it as a smart cable system that's mounted to your wall that uses digital resistance instead of your traditional weight stack. The original Tonal helped define the smart home gym category, and the Tonal 2 takes that formula and improves it in several ways. The biggest upgrades are going to include more resistance, where you now have 250 pounds instead of 200, a built-in camera system for real-time form feedback that works surprisingly well, stronger hardware and cables, new training modes, software features, and even faster processing and improved responsiveness. Unlike traditional home gyms, Tonal uses electromagnetic resistance that can automatically adjust the weight while you're lifting, track every rep, and build progressive overload directly into your workouts. It does all this while occupying very little space. We're talking over 300 different exercises through adjustable arms, smart handles, bar attachments, and even rope accessories. The Tonal footprint is fantastic, and when you're not using it, it basically just looks like a TV mounted to your wall vertically. For people working in either spare bedrooms, small apartments, bonus room, or maybe you've got the setup in your living room, this is a huge advantage over a traditional rack setup or even standalone functional trainers or cable machines. However, there's a caveat. Tonal requires professional installation and specific wall requirements. You'll need a wall clearance at least 7 foot by 7 feet. That way you have a comfortable area to actually work out. So while it does save a ton of room, it's definitely a permanent solution. So just keep that in mind and think about, do you really want to sacrifice that wall space indefinitely? Now, this is where Tonal sets itself apart from other smart home gym systems. Now, I'll admit, when I first used the Tonal, I did not like it. I didn't really understand the digital resistance. I'm used to being in a gym with real weights, barbells, dumbbells, machines, etc. But I will say, once I got a hang of it, this thing is amazing. The digital resistance, even though it's not as stable, I feel like it really targets some of those stability muscles that we kind of miss out when using free weights because we get locked into that movement pattern. The digital resistance felt incredibly smooth, surprisingly. There's no weight stack clanking around, which sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. And because there's essentially no momentum, many of the exercises actually felt harder than they would if I was using traditional weights. Starting out, the first time you use Tonal, you'll complete your weight assessment. Now, this is a unique feature because what it would do is take you through 4 exercises, and based on the weights that you lift in those exercises, it will adjust your weights on each program you choose when you use the Tonal. So you don't have to think about or remember what weights you used the last time you worked out. You just lock into the workout, it suggests the weights for you, and then you're good to go. For beginners and intermediate lifters especially, this creates one of the most seamless strength training experiences available. There's also a massive library of trainer-led workouts, programs, strength sessions, mobility work, HIIT classes, recovery sessions. I mean, I could go on for days. This experience honestly feels so much closer to having a real coach with you than simply just owning a piece of equipment. Plus, this new camera system takes this thing to the next level. One of the most noticeable upgrades from the OG Tonal to the Tonal 2 is the built-in camera. This not only records your workout so you can see yourself, but it gives you real-time updates and form corrections, which is kind of unbeatable. If your positioning is off, if your range of motion changes, or if your movement quality declines, Tonal can provide coaching cues in real time. This is a great feature, especially for beginners and honestly, even for some intermediate lifters, because it helps with the efficiency and safety of your workouts. Now, let's be realistic. It's not really the same as having a human coach right next to you, but compared to just following along with an app on your phone, it's a major step forward. In addition to that camera upgrade, the Tonal 2 also has a host of new smart features to enhance your experience. We're talking about things like adaptive weights. The machine will automatically adjust the digital weight based on your strength, your fatigue levels, and your performance during the workout. It has a spotter mode. This safety feature automatically reduces the weight if it senses you're struggling during the concentric, which is the lifting phase, and then when you complete a rep at normal speed, it'll restore the weight for your next rep. Dynamic weight modes such as eccentric, where the weight actually gets heavier during the loading phase, chains, and burnout modes that mimic traditional techniques used with free weights. One of my favorites is the drop set feature. This is one of the features that allows you really to train all the way to failure without ever having to stop and re-rack a weight. So we can't go without mentioning Aero HIIT. This is exclusive to the Tonal 2. It's a high intensity workout mode that combines explosive strength training with cardio using the dual T-lock rope that connects both arms of the Tonal 2 together. After taking Tonal 2 through a few different workouts, trying out all the smart features, handles, and attachments, here are the areas where it really shines the most. First is the user experience. The coaches on this app are super knowledgeable. As a coach myself, I really appreciate when I'm getting good information along with the workout. They're motivational as well. Not only are they demoing the exercises, but like I said, the smart camera is quick to give you form adjustments. I'm pretty sure I was doing RDLs on this one time, and it literally told me, hey, make sure you start your RDL at the top of the movement, which is something new lifters and even intermediate lifters may not know. Everything on the Tonal 2 feels super polished, and there's ample room for customization. Not only can you follow along with the pre-prescribed workouts, but you can also customize your own workouts as well. There are a few options that provide this much functionality while having such a small footprint. This is a huge plus if you're working out in limited space. One of the greatest features on the Tonal 2 is the smart progressive overload. As a coach, I'm constantly educating my clients on when they should actually go up in their weights. The Tonal takes all the think work out of it. As you get stronger, it will adjust the weights for you. As you get fatigued in your workouts, it will adjust the weights for you. This is just something you're not gonna find in your workout app or working out by yourself. While this might seem like an underrated benefit, when your gym is mounted to your wall, ready to go in seconds, it makes it a lot harder to make excuses. You don't have to drive to the gym, you don't have to move equipment around, you don't have to set anything up. You just turn it on and get to work. Another thing that I found really impressive is the Tonal takes you not just through the workout, but a warm-up, the workout, and post-workout stretching, which again is something a lot of people just skip when going to the gyms or working out by themselves. I've talked a lot about how great the Tonal is because let's be honest, it is, but here are a few reasons that it just might not be for you. Let's talk about the most obvious. The machine is expensive. On its own, it's gonna cost you $4,300. Depending on which accessory bundles you get, you're looking at another $500 to $600. Then you have to pay for installation, which is gonna cost another few $100s, depending on where you live. Finally, you have to factor in the subscription price of $60 per month, and this is required for your first year of membership. Now after that, you can cancel the membership, but you won't get to use all the amazing apps and features that come with the Tonal 2. By the time everything is said and done, you're looking at right around $5,000 plus that recurring membership fee. Remember, we talked about one of the biggest upgrades for the Tonal 2 being that 250-pound weight capacity. Now, me, I bench over 400 pounds, I squat over 500 pounds, I deadlift over 600 pounds. So if you're a serious lifter looking to move some serious weight, this is not gonna be the machine for you. However, I will say, even at that 250 pounds of digital resistance, I still got a really good workout, and it's something I'd use occasionally, but personally, it wouldn't do good for my type of training. However, for most people, 250 pounds of digital resistance is more than enough. But again, if you're chasing a huge squat, huge bench, or those huge deadlift numbers, eventually you're gonna hit a ceiling. Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal's value really depends heavily on its software platform. If you prefer the complete freedom in your programming, that could be a potential downside. On the flip side, the classes and various programs cover such a wide range of modalities. They have yoga, they have Pilates, so this can help keep things fresh in your routine. The Speedience Gym Monster offers similar digital resistance and doesn't require wall mounting. That makes it more flexible and portable. However, Tonal feels more refined with better software, coaching, and overall user experience. Speedience is going to be a beginner-friendly option like Tonal, the OG, but our team still prefers the Tonal 2. Okay, now I've talked about who shouldn't buy the Tonal 2. Now let's talk about exactly who should buy it. And that's gonna be most people. The Tonal 2 is gonna be a fantastic fit for people who want an ultra versatile home gym machine. Like I mentioned before, this is gonna cover your gym membership, your Pilates membership, and your yoga studio membership. Those who like the guided workouts and having a feel of a personal trainer right there with them, anyone training in small spaces that requires a more compact piece of exercise equipment, and if you really just enjoy live, on-demand studio classes right at home. That's right, they have live classes that you can join on demand. As for who should skip it, budget-conscious shoppers, serious powerlifters, Olympic weightlifters, and really people who just don't want to have to pay for another subscription. So here are my final thoughts on the Tonal 2. After taking it through a few different workouts, I do like how easily adjustable it is. This moves up and down. Your adjustment lever here goes up and down and locks into place. And then you also have this button here, which rotates this out to the side to adjust your angles. Super easy, and as you can see on the screen, it lets you know exactly where you're locked in so you're consistent on both sides. Changing out these attachment handles is also super easy. It has a T-lock, you're gonna push in, rotate, and slide it out. Same thing to put it back in, you're gonna put it in, push, rotate, and I mean, this thing is, like, it's in there, it's firm. So I like that, I feel secure. even lifting at the maximum weight capacity of 250 pounds. Overall, I really like some of the features like the smart AI camera. Honestly, having that real-time correction, even for me as someone who's been lifting for over a decade, we get comfortable, we get in our own pattern routine, and sometimes it's nice just to have that extra eye on us, literally. We can go back and watch ourselves, but you also have AI coaching you and correcting you. I also like I said before, how knowledgeable the coaches on here are, how interactive it is. It feels like I'm face to face with a coach and not talking to an app, which is something I really didn't expect. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. If you've been using the OG Tonal, we'd love to hear about your experience down in the comments below. And for a full comprehensive review of the Tonal 2, head over to our main channel over at GGR. As always, be sure to subscribe for more in-depth reviews just like this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you'll try the Tonal. Tune in next time.